What is going on, guys? This is Prodigy, and real quick I just wanted to bring a video for you guys to talk about Project Scorpio, which is the new console that Microsoft is planning on release, which is technically still going to be a part of the Xbox line because they don't want to label it as a new generation. But I mean, if we're being honest, the way they're talking about this console and the specs that it's looking at having, it's basically a new generation of consoles, because what they really don't want to address right now is that this is the console that they should have put out in the first place, as opposed to the Xbox One, because we all know the Xbox One and the PS4 were both underpowered at launch. So the reason I'm making this video is because the actual specs for the Xbox Scorpio, or Project Scorpio, were just officially released today. There were always rumors in the past about what it was going to have, but this has actually been confirmed by Microsoft. And so I'm just gonna go through the specs with you guys, give you my opinion, and show it to you on the screen as well, so you guys can see for yourself and compare between the original Xbox One as well as the PS4 Pro that just came out. So on the screen right now, you'll see the specs, and starting off with the CPU, you'll see it's a custom 8-core processor at 2.3 gigahertz. Now, the main difference there is that the PS4 Pro is down to 2.1 gigahertz and the Xbox One all the way down at 1.75 gigahertz. Now, I'm not an expert on computer hardware, so I couldn't tell you exactly how big of an advantage an extra 0.2 gigahertz is for a processor. I do know that it is a pretty noticeable difference, but I couldn't sit here and break down to you in technical terms as to why it's better or not. Just know that it's better, it's more powerful, and you will notice a difference, okay? And going with the GPU, I'm not going to read through everything specifically. You guys can kind of just eyeball that for yourself, but the most notable things is the GPU is much more powerful. It has 12 gigs of RAM as opposed to the Xbox One and PS4 Pros on 8 gigs. The memory bandwidth is 326 gigabits per second, and it has a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray drive. Now, the key things you want to take from this Xbox Scorpio is the CPU, GPU, and the memory. So all three of those things have been significantly upgraded from the Xbox One and surpasses that of the PS4 Pro. The PS4 Pro is supposed to run at native 4K, not upscale, native 4K for all titles, and is supposed to, I'm not sure if they have confirmed that the Xbox Scorpio will run at a constant 60 frames per second, but with specs like these, I really hope it does, and it should be able to, no problem. It may have to go for 30 frames per second for some high action games, but for a lot of games, I don't think it should have a problem running 60 frames per second, but that remains to be seen. We'll see that when it comes. Now, at E3 this past year, Microsoft said that the Xbox Scorpio was supposed to be a premium console for hardcore gamers, quote unquote. So I expect a hefty price tag on this, especially given the specs right here. I definitely wouldn't be surprised if the price tag on this was pretty heavy. Now, there are rumors that it's supposed to be priced at $499, which isn't that bad considering the specs, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it was more than that. I'd say maybe $599, or if we're being generous, maybe like $549, something, splitting the difference. But $499 is the rumor. I'm not sure if I believe that 100% given the specs that we just released. So we'll of course find out more at E3 this year and see, what the actual price tag will be when the time comes. But for now, this is what we have to work with. I'm honestly pretty excited to see, how the Xbox Scorpio performs. And, of course, anytime they mention Microsoft, they mention Forza. They said Forza is supposed to run at native 4K, 60 frames per second. So I'm interested to see what this console can do, and if it's going to be a huge improvement for the Xbox One. Obviously it is as far as the specs, but in terms of actual performance, I want to see how it does. I mean, I probably won't be getting one anyway, because Xbox has Play Anywhere, so I can play all the games on my PC anyway, and I have a PS4 already, so I'm probably not going to be shedding out extra cash just to get an Xbox Scorpio. But it's a nice thought, you know, for those who do strictly console gaming, who like Xbox. I think this will be a nice upgrade for them to have should they choose to do so. So that's pretty much going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and learned something. I'm going to leave a link in the description as well to articles related to the Xbox Scorpio, so you can check that out for yourself. But that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like on the video. I'd really appreciate that. But for now, this is Prodigy. Thank you all for listening.